All right, well, good evening, everyone. This is Andre Park. I want to welcome each and every one of you to our Empowering Entrepreneurs Network Marketing Boot Camp. And, we're going to talk about some incredible topics throughout this boot camp. But at the end of this boot camp, the whole goal is to help you to build your business at a pace that can outgrow what you're trying to do, to grow your business at an exponential rate, but at the same time to be able to have a lot of fun with your business, help a lot of people, but more importantly, make sure you're making the income that you have desired to make in your network marketing business. So, hey, welcome to our Empowering Entrepreneur Network Marketing Bootcamp, and we're going to go ahead and get started here. And all of your boot camp lessons, you always be able to go back through and rewatch them by logging back into eeonlineacademy.com. Log in and you'll be able to watch your boot camp videos over and over and over again. And this subject that I'm going to talk about here is something that, you might be having some problems right now in your business. And some of your problems might be related to not growing, or maybe you have some kind of challenges in your organization. Maybe you're in a position right now where it's just real hard for you to find new customers and new business partners. You're like, okay, I've been doing this business for, a week, or I've been doing it for a month, or I've been doing it for 3 years. And it's at the point where it's very hard. It's real challenging for you to find new customers, to get started on your service, to get started on your product, or, to get new business partners enrolled in your organization. And you're at a very challenging stage and you're saying to yourself, okay, what do you need to do to get your business to grow, or to get your business to jumpstart? Or maybe you're in a position where, things aren't really working the way you want it to work. And, I've been down, these are things that I've experienced personally. I remember the time when I didn't know how to build a business effectively. I didn't know how to build an organization. I didn't have a system in place. And these were challenges that I was dealing with. And it got to the point where I end up seeing more people kind of quitting throughout my organization than actually getting involved. And that really started to, bother me, what I need to do on a day-to-day basis and on a week-to-week basis. So these were challenges that I experienced myself personally, where I couldn't find customers. I didn't know how to really build my business and build it effectively. And I had at times more people actually quitting my business than getting involved. And to make it worse, I was at a stage in my life, and you're looking at this picture here, it's a beat up Nissan Maxima. And this is where I was in life. I was driving this burgundy beat up Nissan Maxima, and this is not the exact one, but it's one that looks almost just like mine did. And that Nissan Maxima, the hood, it was faded, the clear coat was gone, the top was faded, the sides, kind of like this picture, was faded, and you couldn't see the paint anymore. The air condition didn't work. The heat in there didn't work. It leaked everything except for gas. It leaked transmission fluid. It leaked antifreeze. I had to constantly put air in the tires. For about 6 months, I drove around, and this car was just, I didn't know if it was going to make it from one location to the other. And here I am trying to build this business. Working at the mechanic shop and on a part-time basis, trying to build this business to make some money, to make ends meet, to get me out of that rut of life that I was in. And mentally, I was in probably one of the lowest stages of my life. And here I am trying to tell a person that, hey, I have an opportunity for you. Opportunity that you can get involved, you can build a business, you can make more money, and it's going to be great. And I'm so ashamed of the automobile that I was driving. I would literally park it 3 or 4 blocks away from that person's house and walk up to their house to meet with them. Or if we met at a restaurant or coffee shop, I would park it 2 or 3 restaurants away from where we were meeting. And whenever I remember we would walk outside of the restaurant, hey, nice to meet you, good talking to you, look forward to working with you, make some things happen. And they were kind of looking like, okay, what car are you getting ready to get into? And, you know, I wouldn't really walk to no car. Well, yeah, let me walk you to your car and walk them over to their car. And I well, good, you know, and I'll wait for them to get in their car, drive off. And then when they drive off, then I'll go ahead and walk 2 or 3 restaurants over, get into my little, you know, raggedy Nissan Maxima. And before I cranked it up, I had to go in the trunk and get a gallon of water out of the trunk, bring it to the front and pour it in the coolant reservoir, because every time it stopped, it leaked all the coolant out. So I have to pour that in there so I can crank it up and drive it to the next destination. So, you know, if you're in a position right now where you're wondering, you can't find customers, you can't get customers involved or business partners, or maybe you're in a position where you have more people quitting than actually getting involved in your organization, or maybe you're in a position where you don't even know exactly what to do, how to build your business, and how to do it effectively. You know, you're not by yourself. I've been down that path, and a lot of people in our industry are constantly going down that path. That's one of the reasons why I created this boot camp. I created to help you and millions of people worldwide not to have to go through a lot of the headaches, the tests, the trials, and the tribulation that myself and many, many other top leaders in this industry went through. So let's talk about getting customers and getting business partners. And the first thing I really want to hit on is perception. And I really want to break down the perception of what it takes to really get a customer or a business partner in your organization. And the perception is very powerful when you understand it and you fully apply it to what you're doing. So perception is basically, you know, how you interpretate something. What is your mental impression? And a lot of people have this perception about our industry. Oh, it's easy. You just get in and, man, you just sign up 3 people and, man, you can run straight to the top of this thing. And in 90 days, you can make all this money. And you know what? We have to put some of that perception back on a lot of the leaders in this industry. You know, we paint the pitch sometimes as leaders that it's so easy to do, to get involved, and man, you don't have to do nothing. Just sign up 3 people and whoo, that's it, and have them sign up 3, and man, next thing you know, you're making $5,000 a month. And the perception that a person might have when they get involved in the industry is, well, they don't have to do that much. Well, all I have to do is just share the product. Well, hey, if I just get 3 people in and they get 3 and they get 3, man, that's it. I'm all of a sudden making $10,000 a month. So there's a perception that a person might have that it's easy to get customers, or it's easy to get business partners, or this business is simple. So let's talk about an industry that we're all familiar with, football. And what is the perception out there when it comes to football and football players? You know, if I had to ask you right now, we opened this line up and said to you, what is the average salary of a football player? You know, think about that. What is the average salary of a football player? Think about that. Matter of fact, if you're watching this right now, write it down on your notes. What do you think is the average salary of a football player? Write it down. Whatever you think that is. Your perception of what the average football player makes. Go ahead and write that number down in your notepad right now. Write it down. What do you think that average salary is? Okay, we're going to discuss that so you can truly understand the power of perception and the perception that most people have when they get started in our industry. It's easy to get customers. It's easy to get business partners. It's easy to make money in this business. Hey, you know, I only paid $200, $500, or $1,000 to get started. You know, this thing is easy to do. So what's your perception of what does an average football player make? So let's talk about it. You know, Business Week says the average salary of an NFL player was $1.9 million. The average salary of an NFL player was $1.9 million. That's the average salary of an NFL player. So remember now, you wrote down on your paper what was the average salary of a football player. Now, Business Week says the average salary of an NFL player is $1.9 million. So let's take it a little bit further. As we dive deeper into perception and getting a full understanding of your personal perception of what it takes to get a customer or what it takes to get a business partner. Remember, perception is a very powerful thing. It is how you interpret something and is what you have mentally locked in. So let's go further into the football industry. Now, the average salary is $1.9 million. You got 32 clubs in the NFL in the regular season, and each team allow a maximum of 53 players on each team under what they call their roster. So you got 53 players on each team. There are 32 teams in the NFL. So, you do some quick math out there real quick. That's going to give you, there's 1,700 players in the NFL earning an average salary of $1.9 million a year. So the average salary for NFL players, $1.9 million. We got roughly 1,700 players each year in the NFL. So if you want to give you a whole total number right now, the NFL on average pays out $3.3 billion a year to just the players. Okay, we're talking about perception here. So the NFL annually, they pay out $3.3 billion to players a year. We got 1,700 players. So let's take that perception another further. Now, football is right now the top sport in the United States. Now, you might be watching this from another country where maybe we call football here in the U.S., but football in London is the top sport, or in Europe, football is the top sport, what we call it soccer here. But American football is the top sport in the United States. And we roughly have 1 million plus high school players that are playing football every year. 1 million that are playing football. We're talking about perception. We want to make sure you have the right perception of your business and what it takes to get a customer and a business partner in your organization. Perception is very, very powerful. Now, the numbers of players who played football within the last 12 months in the United States, over 17 million. When you put in there your what we call middle school or junior high school or recreational football, your college football, your NFL, in the United States, in any given year, in a 12-month period, there's over 17 million people that are playing football, male and female, that are playing American football every year. 17 million people. So then, just do the numbers. You take $3.3 billion and you divide that by 17 million people. See, it's about perception. See, I asked you a question. What does the average football player makes? Now, you ask a lot of kids in high school, in college, in elementary, what do you want to do when you grow up? Yeah, I want to be a football player. That's why they're playing football in high school. That's why they're playing football in elementary. That's why they're playing football in college, in the AU programs. That's why they're playing football in these private programs with the end goal of making it to the NFL. So what is the salary of an average football player? Well, the NFL is the only one that pays you to play, and they pay out $3.3 billion a year, but we have 17 million people playing football. So now I ask you that question again with the right perception going forward. What is the average salary of a football player? Now, probably on your sheet of paper, when I ask you what's the average salary of a football player, the perception in your mind, you wrote down, $1 million or 500,000 or 700,000, because your perception is you're thinking, well, hey, what does a football player make? You automatically think NFL. They're the only one they get paid. And all these people are trying to play football. So you put down on your paper, hey, $500,000 or $700,000 or $1 million. Now, you might have put $5 million. What your perception was of what a football player earned, the average salary of a football player. But when you narrow that thing down, you really get down to it. Okay, we've got 17 million people that are playing football every year. The NFL is the only one that pays people to play, and they pay out $3.3 billion, and you divide that number, it gives you the average salary of a football player. It is a whopping $195 a year. I'm pretty sure most of you looking at this did not write down $195 a year. I know you didn't. There's no way possible you wrote down $195 a year, but it's perception. That is the power of perception. And the perception in our industry, you know, hey, you don't have to do that much. Get a few people on the call. You know, hey, just send them your website. Hey, hand them a business card. You know, you're going to get some customers. People are going to sign up. It's easy. It's simple. Just, hey, go out there and, you know, show them the plan. You're going to make it. And I had that perception when I got started. And that's why I was so frustrated. You know, here I am driving around in my little beat up Nissan Maxima. I'm showing the plan. I'm presenting the business. I'm trying to get customers. I'm trying to get business partners. My perception was it wasn't that hard. It was kind of simple. You know, I played football before. I knew what it took to try to even get on a high school team, much less to make it to the NFL. So my perception of network marketing was it was simple, it was easy, and anybody can do it, and getting customers isn't that hard, it's not that difficult. So when I went out to build this business, I had the wrong perception. And majority of people in this industry have the wrong perception. Just like here when I asked you, what was the average salary of a football player? The answer is $195 a year. And let me ask you this, would you play football for $195 a year and risk bodily harm, concussions, knee injuries that's going to last for the rest of your life, ankle pains that's going to be with you till the day you leave the earth, shoulder pain, back pains, all type of hip injuries that are going to be with you? Is it worth $195 a year to do that? Most people say no. That's the perception of network of football. The perception of network marketing is easy. But here's the thing. What does a typical business owner, what does it cost them to acquire a customer? Customer acquisition for a typical business owner. See, you have to look at your businesses. This is a business. You own a business. You are the owner of your business, not company XYZ that you're promoting their product or their opportunity. You are the owner of your business. You don't work for company XYZ. You're not an employee of that company. This is your business. You're the owner. You're acquiring the customer so you can make the profit off of that customer. You're acquiring the business partner so you can make the profit off of that and earn long-term residual income. So as a business owner looking at this as a business, let's talk about what traditional business owners do to acquire a customer. Let's go to travel. We look at Priceline.com. Between their marketing, their advertisements, their websites, the average cost to them to acquire one customer is $7 that they pay to acquire that customer. Let's take another step further. We look at like telecom. Let's look at Sprint, for example. They pay, get this, $315 to acquire one customer. One customer. They pay $315 to acquire that customer. Take another step further. Let's look at your retail store, something simple like Barnes & Noble that are selling books. Now, this is the one that really gets me is Barnes & Noble. They pay $10 to acquire one customer. Now, the funny thing is this. Most books cost anywhere between $10 and $20. So their profit to acquire one customer is not that very well. That's why most of your Barnes & Noble is either out of business, the physical location, or going out sooner or later. But it costs them $10 to acquire one customer. Another example here is a financial institution. They spend $175 to get one customer. So as you're thinking about this as a typical business owner that you are, you own a business, you have service, you have travel, you have health and nutritional products, you have technology products that you're marketing. And every time you acquire these customers, you're going to make a one-time commission, and you're going to get ongoing commissions off of these customers. Okay, what is it going to take you to acquire that one customer? You have to look at it that way as a business owner. And bottom line, here's the thing. When it comes to acquiring customers, it's going to take one, two, or both. To get a new customer and a business partner, it's going to take one, time, or money, or both. Now, in traditional business, they spend money to get their customers. They spend $7, $100, $300 to just acquire one customer. In network marketing, direct sales, most of your investment is going to be time that it's going to take you to get customers. Now, there's some ways that you can invest some time and some money to get customers, but that's on a more of an expert level. You don't want to get to the point where you're spending a lot of money for leads and things like that. That's wasting more money than you're actually making. Now, there is a way to use paid advertisement on internet campaigns, but you have to be properly set up, properly structured to receive that type of campaign and flow through that to get customers without spending money. But majority of the people in the network marketing industry, it's gonna take time. So when I was frustrated driving around, I did 3 presentations, nobody signed up. I did 5 presentations, I had 2 people on a conference call, nobody ordered the products. That was me spending time to get those customers. So to acquire a customer, acquire a business partner, it's going to take time and money, or time or money. Starting your business out, it should be majority time. When you get to a point where you're more of an expert and you have things set up on the internet where you can attract your own customers, you have lead capture pages, and we're going to talk about those things later on in the boot camp, then yeah, you can now invest some money, but no need to waste money until you're properly set up to acquire those customers through your own personal campaigns that you're going to be able to do. So that's the perception that you have to have getting started. That look, you're getting paid $5, $10, $100, $500 each customer that you introduce to your company. So it's going to take some time to acquire that customer. And like I said, later on down the line, once you become more of an expert being able to use the internet to acquire your own customers, then it's going to take some time and money to be able to do that. So you got to shift that perception here in your mind on what it takes. And that's the most important part. And as you start to build your team and build your own personal organization, don't fall into the trap like a lot of leaders fell into over the last several decades of building false expectation. That's one of the reasons why a lot of traditional entrepreneurs won't really get involved in network marketing, because of the false expectation. Oh yeah, you get in, you sign up, you're going to run to the top, man, it's going to be awesome, you can make 10,000. So we're telling a gentleman or a young lady that invested $100,000 to start their traditional business. They had to be there 50, 60 hours a week for a whole entire year, and they never made a profit for their entire year. They were just putting money out that, hey, all they have to do is sign up in your deal and just introduce 3 people, and they introduce 3, and then all of a sudden they can be making all this money. That's why most traditional business owners, when they look this way, they say, because you're promoting false expectation, and a traditional business owner know that he invested $100,000. He invested 50 hours, 60, 70 hours a week. And still 2 years later down the line, his business hasn't even broken into the profit yet. So if we're telling that business owner that, hey, you just get in here, you sign 3 people up, they sign up 3, all of a sudden you're making $10,000 a month, you can do that in the next 90 days. His perception is, okay, you're talking about a scam, or that stuff really don't work, or you're just selling me a bunch of baloney that's not really going to work. So don't build false expectation. Let people know that, you know what? Yeah, it's a low entry to get involved. It's a great opportunity for you to build your own personal business. You're your own boss, but you know, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some energy. It's going to take some investment of your time and energy to build it up and get it going. And you know, it might get to a stage where it might take some investment of money as far as into education, into tools, maybe into some internet campaigns to build your business and keep it moving and growing forward. So you got to have the right perception for yourself And you have to build the right perception with your customers, your business partners, your affiliates that you introduced into what you're doing. So that is how you get customers into the business and what you're doing. So the next thing we want to talk about is the thing that frustrated myself was not knowing what to do. And out here ripping and running up and down on the highway, you know, putting a lot of miles on my car. And I thought I was building the business. I thought I was doing what it took to become successful, but I wasn't until I learned the art of using a system. So when you start to build your business, you have to do one or two things. One, use a system that your company have in place or the leadership team that you're working with have in place, or you have to build and develop your own system for your team and your organization. But a system is the secret for you doing the right things every day and getting the biggest bang for your minute, for your hour of time that you're investing into your business. So a system is going to save yourself a lot of time. Once you put a system in place or you start to use the system that your team or your organization or the company already have in place. And now here's the thing. It needs to be a proven system. Now there's a lot of systems out here that team leaders are promoting that, you know what? It hasn't gotten that individual any success. So you might not want to use that system. So you're looking for a system that is proven, that your company is using, that your organization or your team leader is using, or develop one yourself. Now, developing one yourself, that takes a lot more time, a lot more energy, but once you develop it, put all the functions in place, it allows your business to grow faster and it saves yourself a lot of time. So it's quicker to use one that your team leaders or your company already have in place than to actually develop one yourself. Developing one takes some time, but once you do develop it, put it in place, it's going to now save you a lot of time going forward. The next thing that your system is going to do is going to allow you to get the same results every time. Your system has to get the same results in your city as it does in another city, in another state. It has to get the same results in your country as it does in another country, because we're in a global era. We're going to be talking about more about building your business globally here in just a moment. And so you have to develop into your system where it gets the same results every time. That's where you have to paint the right perception, not overinflate it. If you have people coming in your organization thinking, hey, if I just do one meeting and that's it, and one meeting only, you know, I'm going to get 50 people in, and man, I'm going to be off to the races from there. No, you give them the right perception. So that way, they're going to be expecting to get the same results. If you tell them, hey, you do a massive invite, 35 people to come to your home, they say they're all going to show up, you're going to have about 5 people there. Really? That's it? Just 5? Yes, that's the right perception in our industry. If you have 30 people say they're coming to something, 5 will show up. So they have the right perception. So that way, you're going to get the same results each and every time throughout your system. Number 3, your system, it will build a team with duplication. And duplication is where you start to really expand and grow your organization when it comes to doing that. So in that system area, we're going to go deeper into building a system for your team and your organization in a couple more lessons here. But let's talk about now, you know, how do you keep people from quitting? And this is a chart we pulled up here that showed you why customers leave company. And, you know, this is something that frustrated me for the longest time in this business. You know, I would spend so much time, finally got a person to sign up. Man, finally got somebody started on the product. And I was like, woohoo, party time. I got somebody on the product. Man, woo, finally I got somebody in. Yes, I got one in. You know, and I'm over here ready to party. I got one in. I got one. And I was so excited about finally getting one that I never learned the art of what I'm getting ready to do.
We can't hear you.
And we spent a lot of time, you know, just on getting that one person in what we're doing here. All right, so continuing on acquiring customers. So finally I acquired, customers. They got started in the business, and then I started noticing I would get 5 customers in or 5 business partners in, and the following month, I lost 2 or I lost 3. So I started to say to myself, okay, it's great that I'm getting a few in, but I'm now losing them on the back end. So I started looking at ways of how to keep customers in. This is a survey right here and I did not think that this was the answer. In this survey, it shows you why customers and business partners leave a company. 1% of them leave because they die. 3% of them leave because they might have moved away. 5% of them left because, they got a friend to provide the service for them. 9%, they were persuaded by the competitors to go ahead and switch over them. And, 14% of them, they were dissatisfied with the service. But here's the whopping difference maker. 68% of the people, 68% left the company, left the opportunity, stopped using the products because they felt like people or the company did not care about them. Wow. Wow. So in your business, if you have a customer quit using a product, you have somebody that's no longer active as a business partner, affiliate, or distributor with you anymore. 30% could be, not satisfied with the service, went on to a competitive company, somebody offered them another product, or they passed away, or they, moved out your country where they can't get your product anymore. But 68% of them, 68% quit your company, stop using your products because they believe that you didn't care about them. 68%. So if you spent all that energy, those presentations, those calls, those 3 ways, those follow-ups just to get a customer in or just to get a person enrolled as a business owner, shouldn't you be spending time letting people know that you care about them, that you appreciate their business, so you can keep 68 to 70% of the people on your products or involved in your opportunity? And we have people that's on here right now that's maybe you got a massive organization already. And if you can keep 68% of your organization, how much more would your income be right now? So let's talk about, what do you do to help people to stay engaged on your product? How do you keep people in your business? Number one thing you can do, you can give gifts. Gifts win friends all day long. Set up a way to give a gift to your customer. Let them know, hey, I appreciate you. Here's a gift. And look, these gifts doesn't have to be anything expensive. It could be a simple card. It could be something to let them know that, hey, we appreciate you as a customer. But giving gifts is one of the greatest ways to keep a customer. Because here's the thing. It takes 10 times more energy to get a customer than it does to keep a customer or a business partner. So you might have to do 10 presentations to finally get one in. You might have to call 50 people to finally to get one in. But it takes less than 10% of that work to keep them in. Simply give them a gift. How easy is that? Hey, let me set up on a monthly basis. I go around and make sure all my customers are this, they're satisfied. Periodically I give Tom a gift, such a gift. Hey, appreciate you. Giving gifts, very great way to let your customers know and business partners that they're appreciated. Number 2, oh man, this one here, it is so underrated. Thank you. Thank you. Letting your customers know in your business part, hey, I truly appreciate you. Hey, thanks for signing up. Hey, I appreciate you using my products. I thank you so much. I wouldn't be in business without you. Customers think that, most companies are using them. They don't know that they're appreciated. So you just simply know, hey, thank you. I appreciate you. One of the most successful automobile mechanic shops that I know of is in the Carolinas. And it's a mom and pop mechanic shop. And when he started, he would actually work out in the mechanic shop himself, doing the tune-ups, doing the brakes and everything else. And at the end of every night, before he went home, he would call all his customers from the previous day, and all he would tell them, hey, Larry, this is, let's say Andre over here at the tire shop. I just want to let you know, thanks for bringing your car by yesterday, and I just want to let you know I thank you and I appreciate your business. That was it. And him doing that one thing every night took him to one of the biggest automobile service centers in the world, just off of doing one simple thing. Every night before he went home, he called all the customers from the previous day and just to let them know, thank you, I appreciate your business. That one thing. It will help you keep more customers and more business partners if they feel appreciated and that you really appreciate their business. Number 3, offer free giveaways or discounts. Call them up, say, hey, we're having a free giveaway. All of our customers that orders this month, they're going to go on a raffle. We're going to pull names, and we're going to give away a free bottle of my product. Or we're going to be giving away a free cruise for everybody that booked through our travel websites. Or we're going to be doing this, or we're going to be doing that. Or, hey, we got a 5% discount that we're giving to all of our VIP customers this month. Let your customers feel important. Hey, you're my VIP customers. Everybody's getting a 5% discount this month. That's my VIPs. Offer free giveaways, discounts on your products. Number 4, especially in this day and time with social media, recognize your customers and new business partners on social media. Hey, want to welcome our new customer all the way from Seattle. Appreciate you trying out our product. Thank you so much for trying out. Recognize them as being a new customer. Recognize them as being a new business partner with you. It goes a long way. And ongoing recognition, especially if you have business partners, recognizing their production, no matter how small or how big that production is, but recognize it, especially in a social platform. Social media, where their friends can see it, social events where other people can see it, that allow you to retain and keep more of your customers and more of your business partners. Number 5, as simple as it sounds, wish them happy birthday. And like I said, especially again with social media, most people have their birthday listed on social media. And on birthdays is probably the most activity on a person's social media account where they get the most likes, the most comments, and the most engagement on their website is during that birthday period. So those are the things you want to do to engage your customers and your business partners and keep them actively involved using your products and being a part of your business. Give them gifts, tell them thank you, offer them free giveaways and discounts on your product, recognize them on social media, and wish them happy birthday. Something as simple as that will allow you to keep more customers and more business partners. So just a refresher here real quick. 1, it's hard to find new customers and business partners. Answer, it's going to take time, and it's going to take some money if you get to that stage. But majority in our business, it takes time, it takes time, it takes time to acquire customers, acquire business partners. So now that they're involved, what do they do? How do you build your business? How do you build it effectively? Use a system to build your business. Like I said, in a couple more lessons, we're going to talk about creating a system for your business if you do not have one in place. And then number 3, how do you keep people from quitting your business? As simple as it sounds, let people know you care about them. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for being on here. This is lesson number 1 in the boot camp for today. Everything is recorded here. You're going to get a chance to go back through it. So with that being said, take care. God bless. And I truly look forward to seeing each and every one of you on the Beasts of the War. Have a phenomenal